Hi, my name is Craig Neill and I'm really excited. I've come out to the small little town called Meppel, just 150 to 170 kilometers outside of Amsterdam, a little bit to the east, closer to the border with Germany. I'm about to start the preparations for my trip to Norway. I'm going to travel from Amersfoort in the Netherlands, city where I live, through Germany, through Denmark, and eventually board a ferry at a place called Hertschels. It's a quick 2.5 hour across to a place called Kristiansand, and from there that's where the journey starts. I'm really excited about it. I'm going to be traveling along the south and southwestern part of Norway, up over the mountains, through the various passes. I'm also going to make sure that I get to see the fjords, the famous rocks like Pulpit Rock for example, and approximately 13 to 14 really good sites that have been recommended to me. I'm going to film the entire thing with a GoPro Hero 5 with a DJI Drone. Some of the footage you'll see in the video that will come after this is going to be absolutely beautiful. So this is the first time I'm going to do a trip like this on a bit of a smaller bike. This is the GSR from Suzuki 600. It's got very low mileage on it. I picked it up recently in the Netherlands, and I'm going to put about 4,000 to 5,000 kilometers over a period of 10 to 12 days as I travel through Norway. The bike is a bit light, pretty okay on fuel, not too bad, and mostly a comfortable ride. I managed to fit a top box to the GSR. It was a bit of a pain in the ass. I had to fit a separate bracket at the back and dismantle about half the bike. I also had to change the indicators. The soft luggage that I'm taking with me unfortunately was resting on the indicators, and had to do a couple of modifications to allow me to travel on this trip. Catch you on the other side. I'm in Denmark, in Hertschels. You'd expect to see more of a smile on my face, having traveled 927 kilometers here from Amersfoort. Unfortunately, I have an infection in my throat. All my stuff got wet last night, even though I had the protective stuff on it. So it's going to be a long day today, I think. Heading off to the ferry, I'm going to cross over to the other side, and might end up just staying the night in Kristiansand until I recover. Otherwise, this is going to be a pretty boring diary of my adventure. This is what it looks like when you're tying down loads of bikes on the ferry across to Kristiansand. Lots of people here, lots of bikes, lots of people on journeys. I think it's going to be great. Well, this trip has been 2 months in the planning. I'm on the ferry across to Norway at the moment now, to Kristiansand. And it's not too bad, a little bit busy. The waves are a bit choppy. The sea is a little bit uncomfortable, and they've said that in a few hours time it'll be even worse. Lots of seasick bags here. They offered me a tablet, but I decided not to have one. Starting to feel a little bit better from last night and this morning, so hopefully that will pass. And looking forward to getting to that side. I think it's going to be a great, fantastic trip. Should be fun. Man, I haven't even got to the fjord yet. Look at the view behind me. This is about 30 kilometers outside of Kristiansand. I'm busy making my way to the first fjord that I'm going to go and visit, and go and climb the rock called Tjeg Bolton, I think it is. And man, these views everywhere. And haven't got to the mountains, and it's just beauty. I mean, if you just look right in the back, kind of over there, there's even a house all by itself on an island. Beautiful, man. Yeah, so the weather's been so shit that I haven't even got out my GoPro or my drone. I've had absolutely no chance to explore the view, except this river that I just went to. But have a look at what I've got myself riding on a bike that's meant for tar. I decided in my wisdom to not bring riding boots. I'd rather use my hiking boots because they're waterproof. But my pants are a little bit too high, and as a result the water from the rain hits the rain jacket or the rain pants and then runs all the way down into the shoes. So my shoes are wet, and the rain jacket is not really waterproof after that downpour, so I'm pretty sopping wet. This morning my bag, I discovered that kept all the clothes. I had the cover on it. You would think with the cover on it should stay dry. But unfortunately all my clothes are wet, so I pretty much have only wet stuff. And my next place I was aiming for is still 2 hours and 40 minutes away, but only 140 k's. And to top it off, I didn't realize it's a dirt road, and I'm on a road bike, a GSR 600, on a dirt road. I decided after the eventful day of rain and discomfort with everything being wet that I would book myself into this really magnificent campsite. You can see behind me the view of the water, and the area here is just, man, it's just beautiful. Got this perfect campsite. I'm kind of isolated from everybody. Nice here in the corner. Got to fly the drone and get a couple of pictures as well. I'm here for the night. All the clothes on the tumble dryer. Making a plan with packets tomorrow. Although I did that, they all seemed to tear and they didn't work so well. So make sure that everything stays dry tomorrow. Unfortunately, I didn't get to the place I was aiming for today, but I still think this is a wonderful place to stop. I even got to have a beer at about €3 for a beer. So, good stuff. (10th of August, Thursday morning. And this morning the weather's actually looking a little bit better, despite the wind that's blowing and stuff that's flying around in the background. Didn't have a pleasant night. This throat infection is still affecting me, unfortunately, but it was very warm. Decided to use thermals next to the water, and it actually worked out very well. I need to show you what I'm doing to my shoes, because my shoes are still wet. This is to ensure that my socks don't get don't get wet. Same's going to happen to that one, and I'm going to trim it once my feet are in, and hopefully that will keep me dry today at least, until the rain comes, of course. Then it will happen again. This morning the plan is to go to Les Bottom. I think that's how you pronounce it. It's about 150 kilometers from here. That's where I planned to go last night, but unfortunately I did not end up getting there due to the weather. There's a very nice walk along the way called the Bolton. Unfortunately, I'm not really feeling too good, so I think I'm going to have to skip it. Definitely going to go down the pass and go and have a look at the views and everything. There's a restaurant at the top as well, and just get a good sight and a good view. Today will be the first day that I have the GoPro enabled, because there's no rain at least. And from there, I'm going to make my way down to the base. From what I've seen, there's some absolutely awesome scenery there. Definitely get some shots from the drone. And then I'm going to catch a ferry, and that's a fjord ferry. So it's actually more of a sightseeing ferry for about 2.5 hours to another town called Forsum, I think. And I will find a place to sleep for the night there. I'll probably get there at about 8:30. And from tomorrow, then I head further north and see what happens. But it's early morning, it's just after 8 o'clock, and I'm looking forward to hopefully a day of good weather. The skies are blue, it's looking good out here. I'm starting to smile again. Man, my soul is at peace out here. I finally got to travel through some of the mountainous regions in Norway. I'm on my way down to this big fjord, so I've gone to the top of the mountains at the moment, climbed to about 1100 meters above sea level when I was at 0, so it's quite a significant climb. And man, it's just beautiful. Everywhere you go, it's just pretty. Look at this dam, top of the mountains. Man, what can I say? Wind is blowing a bit. Managed to fly the drone a bit earlier and get some really good footage. Unfortunately up here it's a bit too windy for it, but this has been a fantastic part of the trip. I'm heading towards Bolton, but I won't be climbing it unfortunately, and I'm definitely going to be getting some footage coming up and down those mountains, that's for sure. Look at the view behind me. sights just keep getting better and better. If you look over the mountain, you'll see somebody got something a little bit wrong. There's even a trailer down the bottom, and looks like something went amiss on this pass. I basically came over the top 1150 meters, and you suddenly see the valley on the next side, although it's still kind of halfway valley-ish, if you like, because the big drop into the fjord is about 30 kilometers away. Ooh, this is beautiful out here. It was quite an interesting ride coming down. You've got to be really careful here. It's narrow, almost enough just for one car. With the bike you can kind of squeeze past, but man, this is beautiful. A bit cold now, sun's gone, still beautiful. The beauty here is just indescribable what you get to see. And just everywhere, every kilometer you ride, every place you look, every valley you go down or cliff you go over, mountain you go over, don't go over any cliffs, not a good idea. I'm about to head into Loften Bottom or something like that, Lissy Bottom. Hopefully I'm going to catch a ferry along the fjord. The fjord's behind me, although I can't see it from here. I have to take that pass behind me, and that's going to take me back to the bottom just now. Given our height is up here and I have a fear of heights, it's kind of a difficult thing to look over the edge. Friday the 11th of August. I'm very glad that the weather lifted because it was really shitty yesterday. I mean, look at this view behind. This is Lissy Bottom, I think it's called. It's one of the most beautiful places I think I've seen in my life so far. It kind of reminds you of the Vikings TV series, or ironically that was actually filmed in Ireland. Last night was an interesting night. I tried to get on the ferry at 3:30 yesterday. They said it was full and it left with enough parking for 3 cars and 8 bikes. Came back at 6:30 for the tourist ferry. They wanted to charge me 850 kroner. That's about 100 euros for a trip that should cost 20 euros. I decided in my wisdom to stay and pitch a tent, and then the rain came pouring down. And I just started, so I then converted to a B&B, which cost me 70 euros anyway. So effectively I paid the same. But I would have had to on the other side. At least here I've got to spend some time in the view. The rain did clear up. Couldn't find a beer anywhere, just in a pub. Cost me 9 euros for 500 mils, but fantastic. Today I'm heading towards the summer ski resort. Won't make it today, it's 10.5 hours, only 600 kilometers. So I'll probably make my way through Flam, or towards Flam, and try and stop along a few things along the way, see what there's to see. Weather's looking pretty much like this for the rest of the day. A bit of rain here and there, but it doesn't look like it's too bad. Here's to day number 3 of riding. Well, that's got to be one of the most beautiful petrol stations in the world. Look at that, on the fjord. Fantastic. Had a nice ferry ride across here. It moved about 44 k's an hour. Gave you an opportunity to see, for example, Pulpit Rock. Didn't climb up there, but just the views along the fjord to Forsand was just amazing. Weather's a bit crap, but you take what you can. It's good. So I've travelled through Africa and I've never had a problem with my bike. And I came off the ferry and I stopped outside a shop to go and get myself some cool drink and a couple of biscuits and things. And I kicked out the side stand as you would expect. Switched the bike off and went into the shop, bought a few things, came out and went to put in my box at the back. And as I closed the box and pushed it, I had forgotten to put the bike in gear. And the bike rolled forward even though it was on a pretty much flat ground. The side stand gave way and the bike toppled over. Now that's not the bad part, not good when your bike falls over. Picked it back up and discovered that the entire gear lever had snapped off, the front part, which is a problem because without a gear lever you cannot drive. Do you work on motorcycles a lot?
Nope. But I've done a little bit so like this fixing because my son did drive a trial motorbike for 10 years.
So he broke it and stuff.
Huh?
He fell off and damaged it.
Yeah.
And I happened to come across the captain of the main ferry between the place I'd come from and the mainland, and he was off on a particular week. And he offered to help me. And I went into his garage with the bike and we drilled it out and we put in a bolt, so there's actually a bolt there now. We put the original plastic cover back on, we wrapped it up and back on and back going again. It was quite bizarre really. No other damage to the bike but the gear lever. Once again, another absolutely beautiful place to stop. Look at that. Just everywhere you go. I must tell you, I've never seen a glacier before. I'm here in this national park, the glacier. I'm going to wild camp tonight in this cold as well. This is just fucking fantastic. Look at it. I must tell you, I am so happy. I got to this glacier. I rode the bike up right to the top. It's about 1,500 meters. Sorry, 1,250 meters. It was not high, but consider I was down on the ground just now. And it's the first time I got a photograph of my bike in the snow. So, man, it's just absolutely beautiful. The glacier is here. You can hike, you can ski, but it's deserted. There's no one here. No one. Squat. So it's very strange. I mean, I got in, I got a little ticket from a machine and I drove through. I think I'm going to avoid camping up here because the wind is really blowing and it's blowing off the ice. And I do have warm stuff with me, but you know, if something goes wrong and I'm on my own, it's probably not a very good idea. I did see a place about maybe 400 meters down the hill, still quite high up. It looked like a bit of grass area, a little bit of a dirt road to get there. And it looks like it's on the valley of this side of the mountain, which will hopefully protect me a bit against the wind. I've got 2 beers with me. I've got my cooking material and all that, so I can make some nice hot food tonight, and I've got coffee and all that. -5 sleeping bag, thermals, beanies, all sorts. So I'm going to do the wild camping thing tonight and hopefully survive it. Man, this is my highlight. Definitely my highlight of this trip. Wow, man, this is so good. Yeah. It is 8:45 on Friday night and I'm sitting underneath my tarp, which I'm very glad that I bought. It saved me a lot of hassle with the rain. I decided to wild camp tonight for a couple of reasons. Number one, I'm in the Glacier Park. It was fantastic to see that glacier and snow. I mean, I was sitting down where the sun was shining yesterday and it was hot, sort of hot. And then the next minute I'm up here, freezing conditions, ice, glacier everywhere. It was absolutely spectacular. Unfortunately the weather was a bit bad and I needed to find a place to set up camp. I hope to go back up tomorrow, but when I look now it's just mist everywhere, so it's not looking too good. In fact, you can't even see that there's a mountain here anymore. So I pitched a camp, wild camping, just on the side of the road, literally in the park. It's quiet here. Got my tarp up, I've got my tent in the background there, and yeah, I'm quite pleasant, quite sitting here quite comfortably. Got my chair out, got a couple of beers with me, and I'll enjoy a nice quiet evening. And yeah, tomorrow the adventure continues. Just on 10 o'clock on Saturday morning. If you look behind me, you can see the mist is still plentiful in the background there. It's still raining lightly. Last night it rained cats and dogs. Not quite, but really, I mean, it just bucketed down with rain. Fortunately, my trusty campmaster tent that I got from Outdoor Warehouse in South Africa was 100% waterproof. I had thermals on last night. It was pretty cold. Had a nice sleeping bag, kept me warm. So generally speaking, I was okay last night. I was nice and warm, I had no problems. But waiting for that to clear, I think, is not going to happen today. The weather forecast looks pretty glim for the rest of the day. And if I look around me, there's mist everywhere. So I was at 1250 meters above sea level. This camp is about 600 meters, so a little bit colder than in the valley, but the weather's not too bad from a temperature point of view. It's just the rain, man. It's shitty. So I was thinking, well, what's the point of getting on the bike and riding to where? To sit in the rain again. So I'm going to stay put exactly where I am. Hopefully the weather will pick up or clear up a bit later on, and I can go back to the glacier and get some more insight there, go have a look around a bit, and then make my way tomorrow. You know what, the sun came out just now, just over there, shone a beam of light for about 29 seconds, and then gave me a big fucking up yours, disappeared again. Well, it's not raining, so let me take you for a walk around the campsite. Seems to be a little pathway that leads down to the water. One can only assume that several people have been here before. Although it's not an official campsite, it's a little stop that you can get to quite easily with a car or a motorbike. So it made the logical choice to stop. Nice little river at the bottom of the dam. And if you carefully observe, you will see the rain is returning. After some patient waiting all day, at 25 to 2 in the afternoon, you'll see nothing's changed. There was a slight reprieve in the weather for 4 minutes and 13 seconds, of which I managed to fly my drone and get just a couple of shots of the campsite. Otherwise, this weather is really crap, man. It's just like crap. But you know, it's still good. Just being out here, listening to the rain on this the tarp, seeing the motorcycle parked there, making food, enjoying the outside, the nature, the quiet. Yeah, I'm enjoying it. It's nice. It's time to clean your soul, maybe. Sunday morning at 6:15, and I had a good night's sleep. I've been rewarded for my wait with some absolutely perfect weather. Hardly a cloud in the sky. I know that will change in an instant, and I can get to the top of the mountain as well. So, good start to the morning. Time to pack up and leave. It's a beautiful day here on top of the mountain. It was quite cloudless earlier. The clouds have come up very quickly. I've packed up the camp. I've now come back up to the glacier, and my patience for waiting an entire day has been rewarded with very still weather. There's almost no wind, little breeze. Yeah, unfortunately there's still some clouds in the sky, but I can see the glacier without freezing my nutsack off. Bit of sun peeking through the clouds, but not really much or significant to talk about. Beautiful up here. It's very early. It's 10 to 8. That's pretty cool, eh? People are skiing in summer. Like 2 degrees up here. It's the middle of summer. It's just odd, weird. Besides the noise of the motor, it's actually quite pleasant up here. Having a cappuccino, and then I'm on my way to Lom. Didn't expect this. It's busy snowing up here in summer. Trying to hide away from the wind. Well, it's 2 degrees up on top of the mountain range. There are more tunnels that I had to take, and I'm getting a bit claustrophobic in them. 29 kilometers long, this tunnel. 29 kilometers. So I decided to go up over the mountains. Man, what spectacular view, spectacular passes, just absolute beauty everywhere. I'm on top now, 1,370 meters, I think, and I was down at north just now, so you climb quite rapidly. The only problem is that it's cold. Well, and there's a bit of traffic, not too much, but it gets a bit annoying. But the wind blows, it's bad. Yeah, then it's not that much fun. But hell man, I'm enjoying this. This Norway is, I think, the best place to come to for scenery, without a doubt. Beautiful. Monday morning, and for a change it's not raining. There was a spit earlier and I thought to myself that I'm going to pack up and go home. Then I thought I'm being a bit of a pussy. So I'm heading up over the mountains. It was -4 yesterday when I was up there, and going back and doing this famous route to Trollstigen. And it's a famous pass, but there are many passes on the way. Sitting at 80 meters above sea level, you climb very quickly to the highest point in northern Europe, which is 1,400 meters. Doesn't sound very impressive when you compare some cities are at that, but considering how you climb straight up the mountain, and it goes from about 12 degrees here to maybe -4, or yesterday was -4 when I was traveling. It's a pretty nice little ride to do this morning. Nice location I had last night. Managed to have 2 beers, €9 a beer, but it was fantastic just to be here. It didn't rain last night, so everything stayed dry. Busy packing up, about to leave. Look forward to the day. Hopefully it will be better than yesterday in terms of weather. I haven't seen the sun for more than 2 hours maybe. It's actually pretty shit, but still, it's good fun here. This is at 1,100 meters above sea level. Look at the view behind. That pass that you see in the background is the one I came on last night when it was -4. It was really cold. Today it's not too bad. There's a slight chill in the air, but the weather's actually okay. Obviously overcast. You can't expect the sun to shine in Norway, but it's very pretty up here, man. Again, beauty everywhere you go. I could sit here in this very spot for 5 hours and do nothing, maybe drink a beer. Beautiful, beautiful. The crazy guys behind here cycling up this pass, man. Jeez. Look at that. The sun is out. Oh, what a day. I'm pretty tired from all the riding. I'm here in Trollstigen, and I'm going to go up to the top of the pass now. Have a quick look around. The weather turned good. Some blue skies, a bit cloudy, but it's the first time the sun has actually peeked out for the day. So I'm going to travel up there now and have a look, and then settle down for the night and have a bit of a graze. Wow, man, look at that. Beautiful, beautiful. Oh my goodness, did you see that pass? My word. I've still got to go down it. Within my fear of heights, I mustn't look over the edge. But that was quite something, man. Gee. 18 hairpin bends, and you climb from naught up to whatever this is, probably 11 or 1200 meters, just like that. Man, that waterfall was pretty. Really, really. This place is just awesome. And today the weather is really good. There's no wind at the moment at the top here. It's a bit of a blue skies. Can't complain this afternoon, that's for sure. It's Tuesday morning. Now, I've been on the road for a week now, done 2,300 kilometers. It's been great. Norway is a country like no other that I've been to. Just beauty, mountain passes, scenery, fjords, rivers, water, waterfalls, everywhere. Every bend you go around, they're there. The weather's been a bit crap. At a few points I've decided to myself at the time, turn around and go home. Then you persevere and you get rewarded with the sights and everything that you see. It's kind of my turning point now. I'm now starting to make my way back to Amersfoort in the Netherlands, and from here it's still about 1,800 kilometers. So I'm not sure how my route's going to take me, but I start to head south today, and we'll probably be home within a couple of days or so. And yeah, I think the sightseeing part of it is not over, but the majority of it's done. The majority of the passes are done. But from here on out, it's kind of a gradual ride back. Hopefully see some good things along the way. It's been great, man. You've got to come here. Wednesday the 16th at 8:30 in the morning. As luck would have it, the day that I leave Norway, the sun comes out and the skies are blue. I suppose it's the luck of the draw. As you can see, very beautiful behind, and really grateful to have done the trip. Now it's on to Larvik, and from Larvik I then head off across the ferry this evening to Hirtshals, and from Hirtshals it's just a long way back. Been a great adventure, been a great trip, and definitely do it again. As luck would have it, the sun comes out on the day that I head back to the ferry. But beautiful anyway. I've arrived in Larvik, and I'm about to board the ferry back to Hirtshals in Denmark. Man, what a trip. It's now Thursday morning. I've been on the road now for 9 days. Today's a butt burner back to Amersfoort, but enjoying the sun this morning out here in Hirtshals. It's been a fantastic trip. I've really enjoyed it, and would definitely like to go back to Norway again. I can highly recommend it. It is one of the most beautiful places in the world, without a shadow of a doubt. Cheers.